Hi, I'm Emma Stokes, and there are just 4 weeks to go until the Dart 10K. So this is of my training diary, weeks 24 to 26. So it's been a good 3 weeks. A few things have happened. So rewind back to week 24, there were just 6 weeks to go at that point. I got back in the Lido, having had quite a few weeks in open water in my wetsuit. And it was really bizarre swimming in without a wetsuit. So I almost had to readjust my swimming position again. But I did 2.5K. I'm using my pool swims as like technique and really pushing my speed, and really enjoyed it. I haven't had any more rubbing on my neck, so I've been using my Glide and my Buff, and I think the only reason I got my rub was because I made the mistake of leaving a necklace on. But for anyone who is suffering with rub on their neck, I had some advice from @peak_condition on Instagram, and you can buy these plasters called water seal plasters. Who knew? So apparently they're completely waterproof. It's almost like the plasters you get for your heels, but they're waterproof and for your neck. And also advice for cramp, basically flip onto your back, straighten your leg, flex your toes and massage your calf. I love the swimming community. There's advice everywhere. Also, I read a really interesting article about hydration, which helps with performance and preventing cramp. So it was saying about the electrolyte drinks and having one the night before your long swim. So I've been doing that, and then also having a big drink of electrolytes about 90 minutes before your swim. But finding the balance between having just enough and not too much of water in between those drinks, because otherwise what you're going to do is just flush it all out of your system. So it's a fine line, but I think I've nailed it because I haven't suffered with cramp for, well, the last 3 weeks, and my distances have really increased. So that's really working. We've managed to have a few team swims. Unreal. It's taken us until now, but yeah, we've gone to the lake. All three of us have got in the water, me, Mandy and Zoe. We've had a little picnic afterwards, and it's been so nice because we've actually felt like we're a team again, because we've been doing so much training independently. I've also started thinking about what I'm going to eat when I actually do the Dart 10K. So I was looking at what they offer, and one of the foods are jelly babies. So I was taking some jelly babies to leave on the jetty at Lake 86, so that I was swimming back in, having a drink and eating something. Felt really weird to eat, so I'm glad I started practicing it because I'm used to just having a drink. The jelly babies worked, they gave me energy. They weren't my favourite thing though, and I'm not sure I fancy a banana either, so I'm trying to figure out what it is that I'm going to eat. So yeah, my long swim that week was 6.5K. I've been, just like I said before, increasing my distance by 0.5 kilometre each week, so there's no massive jumps, and it seems to be really working. It didn't feel like a massive shock, and when things get tough, what I've been doing is breaking it down as if I'm swimming in a pool. So rather than when I'm sighting going, shit, that buoy looks like a really long way away and I'm tired, I've been then counting my strokes. So I do about 34, 35 strokes per 50 meters. So I've just been counting and then going, boom, that's another length done. Let's see if it's 2 more lengths, and almost playing it a bit of a game with myself. So it's about finding those sort of mental strategies that help to overcome the physical. And yeah, I did feel strong on that swim, and I managed to see a few of my so far virtual friends. So Tash, Creative Tash, hi, I saw you. Tanya and Adrian, actually, who isn't a virtual friend, she's a swimming friend who happened to park next to me one day at Lake 86. So yeah, I've really built up a little friendship circle, so it's really nice. So that was week 24, 25. Did a pool swim. My Garmin told me I broke some records, woohoo, which basically was about my fastest 100 meters and my fastest 2K. So definitely those pool swims are paying off because, yeah, I'm obviously really pushing myself on those. Started to notice some twinges that week. Basically, I think it's because of the distances are starting to really increase. I found it when I was doing marathon walking, that at a certain point, your body starts to go, oh, that's uncomfortable. So my pains have been in my back, sort of just behind my shoulder blade, one there. Feels like a muscle's gone like that into a little tight ball. And sometimes when I swim, I've noticed a little pain in my kind of groin area, which is weird because I'm not breaststroking, so I don't know why that is. So I booked an emergency sports massage with a really lovely friend. She's over on Instagram, and I'll put her tag below because she is amazing. And bless her, she wouldn't charge me for my massage because she wanted to try and support what I was doing, because I'm trying to raise money for charity. Have I mentioned this? I'm raising money for charity. Yeah, I'll put that link as well because I'm supporting Refuge. So I actually took I took quite a few days off that week just to give my body time to repair. There's no point pushing it. And in the Dart 10K training program, it says, you know, if you need a week off, take a week off. It isn't going to be the be all and end all and ruin your swim. So I did that. And then by the time I got to the weekend and got to my long swim, which was 7K, I actually managed to do 7.2. I felt really rested. My muscle pain was starting to disappear and smashed it. So it was a light week in terms of how many times I swam, but I still managed to do my long swim. So that is testament to say that, you know, your fitness is there. And what else? Sorry, I've just lost train of my thought there. So yeah, and then week 26, which is this week, I've had the week off work. And I did a long swim on Wednesday, which I'd planned in. And as luck would have it, or not, it was blowing a gale. It was heaving it down with rain. And I've never swum in such terrible conditions. It was hard because the wind was blowing down the lake. And every time I went to sight, I got smacked in the face by a wave. Every time I went to breathe, I had to kind of pause and wait until the waves had gone down. It was exhausting. I think when there's a lot of energy in the water, it just makes it so much harder. So I remember listening to a really inspirational speech at, not a speech, like a presentation at the Literature Festival last year. And it was by this amazing lady that had run the length of New Zealand. And how she broke her rundown when she was finding it really hard was, I'm just going to do a lovely 10K. And then she'd do a 10K and then stop and rest and go, I'm just going to do a lovely 10K. So it was almost like, you know, not going, I'm going to run 32K today. So I did that with my swim. So I decided to break my swim down. So I did 4 laps and then went back to the jetty, had a drink. So I was like, oh, that was a nice 4K. And then I was like, I'm now going to do a nice 2.5K. So off I set again, and doing it like that, as well as counting my lengths when I was finding it hard, looking at how far away the boys were. I managed it. I did 7.7K. So I'm nearly at the longest distance, which the Dart 10K program mentions, which is 8. So I don't know if I'll even push it to 8 now. I might just leave it at that, but I'll see how I feel next week. But yeah, goes to show you can do it when you put your mind to it. I had the lake pretty much to myself because I was the only idiot mad enough to be out there. But I still felt really safe. All the staff were around and very aware that I was the one in the water because I'd been in there for 3 hours. So yeah, that was all good. In terms of kit, I had wetsuit gate this week. I was mindful that I had quite a few little nicks in my wetsuit. So I thought I'd inspect it and I was horrified. It all started to fall apart under the arms. It's only a year old. It's a DHB and I bought it from Wiggle. So I posted on, I think it was the Outdoor Swimming Society page to just ask for different wetsuits to recommend because I just thought, oh, I'll just have to get a new one. And then everyone was like, well, you need to speak to Wiggle and complain. So I did. And oh my goodness, they were amazing, I have to say. Within 48 hours, I had an email to say that they were going to send me a new wetsuit, that I could keep the other wetsuit. They didn't want it back. And so, yeah, you know, you can't fault that. In an ideal world, I would have wanted my money back because I'm not sure I'd have chosen to buy another one because it will probably disintegrate in the same time. But given how close it is to the event, given that I know it's really comfortable, regardless of its quality, thank you, Wiggle. You know, that was really, really good. And I'm really grateful for that. So, and the other thing that I've been experimenting with are gels. So, I bought this one, which is a Power Bar Power Gel Smoothie. Because it's natural fruit puree. I'm not a fan of these kind of very, very artificial gels and putting things like that in my body. So I tried a gel on my long swim, because what I'm going to do is swim with a little thin running belt. And then I can pop my gel in it, so that if I miss a feeding station by accident, or if I need something in between a feeding station, I can just unzip my belt and bash one of those down me. And it was lush. It didn't repeat on me like the other gels did. I got this from my local gym in Cheltenham, but I'm sure if you Google them, you can find it. And the other thing I got is a Colombian energy block. And this is basically pure raspberry and guava. And it's like mushed up and pressed into a bar. And so it's really easy to eat. And I preferred it to Jelly Babies. So I think I'm going to swim with those in my running belt, and at the feeding station, or maybe not, just grab those as my fuel. So, and then use the feeding station for water. That's my plan. Hopefully it goes to plan. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. Zoe is following the Dart 10K plan. So she's going to be doing her 6.5K as her long swim this week. Not too sure what Mandy's up to, but she'll be fine. She's such a competent swimmer, like I've been saying before, and a machine. Yeah, we're now starting to talk deets. So we've been talking about, we can now register the night before on Friday, which is so good, because it makes us go to the start, having sussed it all out, so that when we go on Saturday, it won't be such a panic. So I'm really, really pleased about that. But oh my God, 4 weeks. I'm so excited. In a way, I kind of wish it was like next week now. But I'm still really loving it, still enjoying the community, still enjoying how my own ability is improving. And yeah, I just hope everyone else is enjoying this journey as much as I am. So I'll probably post in 3 weeks' time, because then there'll be just 1 week to go. And yeah, I hope you found this useful in some way. Feel free to ask any questions, and I'll catch you very soon.